And so the festive season is upon us, and you're going to be meeting friends, meeting family, and hopefully playing some games. And if you're having a festive party, maybe it's New Year's Eve, maybe you've got lots of people over for Christmas, you're going to need some games to keep people entertained.
Yeah, definitely some games, yeah, because otherwise what you do?
What are you going to do? You can't just sit and...
Well, I think it's just like eating, getting drunk and playing games, isn't it?
That's basically it, mate. And if
Sounds like every weekend, but...
That's basically us every weekend, to be fair. But yeah, if that's not normal for you, then you've probably going to want some party games.
That's what it is. It's just like high player counts. That was the rule of the game, and
easy to teach.
Easy, because the last things that you want at a party is throw up there. We're like, we are all having fun. Should we play TI? Like, no, you don't want to do that. You need those. All the selection that we made is top 5 games for us. The rules was the higher player counts, and it needs to be easy to teach, easy to get, and not too complicated for people that don't know about board gaming. Because
you might have your nan over.
Yeah, exactly. Because otherwise they're not coming back. So
well, your cousin Dave that doesn't like games, but he might like this one. So that's the rules of the game.
Yeah.
This is going to be our top 5 party games. Woo, 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 woo. Let's get partying with number 5.
My number 5, easy peasy, is this little beauty here. It's Cockroach Poker. It's probably one of the most famous party games around there. They sold like gazillion copies of this game, and it's super easy. It's basically a card bluffing games where if you call out someone is bluffing or someone's caught you bluffing, you get basically a certain type of insect, and as soon as you got 4 of those insects, you're out of the game, and it keeps going. So it's a little like poker game, and super easy to play. You can play with a very high numbers. All the cards got like different insects, so it's not like you need to learn any particular rules. That is just like, what you got in your hands? You got a spider? I don't know. Like, you got a spider. Boom! It's not a spider. This card goes to you. Nice. But yes, super easy and fun to play. Yeah.
And if you watched our top 5 stocking stuffers up here somewhere, you'd already have a copy of this because it'll be in someone's stocking. So go watch that. Go buy this. Go play it at Christmas. My number 5 is a game that's even smaller than this one, which is a fake artist goes to New York.
So good game.
It's such a good little tiny game. Yeah. This is a fantastic kind of bluffing, but not really. More like social deduction, but really a light touch of social deduction. No one's going to get upset about this one like they might with if you played Avalon or something. People might start getting angry. No, this is a real light touch. And the concept of the game is super simple and super clever. Everyone has a different colour pen. One person doesn't know what the subject is. Everyone else does. Subject might be car. Everyone else will have like a car on their little secret thing, and they have to draw one line on a piece of paper. They will then pass that piece of paper along, and the next person will draw a line. The idea being that the person that's the fake artist that doesn't have the subject in their hand needs to blend in by like trying to guess what everyone else is drawing and making an accurate line. And we played it recently.
Yeah, it's super fun. Like, it just like, especially like with a lot of people.
You can play 10 people with this tiny box.
Yeah. And you see that drawing getting weirder forward, and it gets weirder and weirder. And then if you are the fake artist, you don't know. You just sometimes just do like.
I'll just draw a little circle somewhere and hope no one notices.
Exactly, no one's gonna notice. And a lot of time people do not notice. They're just like.
But sometimes they're like, wait, why is there a circle there? Like, and you're like, oh, it could have been.
Yeah, it's really fun, and I find like party games, whenever you got to draw something, it's always fun because it's just like it's for a laugh. It's like having a laugh.
Super easy to teach. You just tell people, you just draw a line. Yeah. And like if you either know what you're drawing or you don't. Yeah. It's really easy.
And this game really reminds me, if you ever played Chameleon, but on a drawing version of Chameleon. Chameleon is the one that didn't make the list. A spoiler, but you're basically trying to blend in where everybody knows a secret, and the chameleon doesn't know that secret, basically but needs to blend in. And this is in the drawing version. And again, you put it in your pocket and bring it to your friend's house. That's
it's
absolutely fantastic.
Fantastic game. Little hack for this one. don't use the little paper thing in here. It's fine. Use an A4 sheet. It makes the drawings much more
more fun.
Much more bigger as well. So, number 5.
My number 4, I said that this was probably the number 1. Actually, the number 1 is Codenames.
Codenames, the number 1 party game.
Yes, and this...
Says it on the box.
3 spiel nominees, you definitely saw this game.
You've seen it everywhere, yeah.
This is the original version. They made like so many other versions. You got the 2-player version, the
Disney version,
the Disney
Marvel version,
yeah,
whatever,
exactly. There's so many. Basically, for the one who don't know what the game is, you will have a certain number of cards in front of you. On each card, there's going to be a word written on it, and then you divide the players in teams. One per team is going to be like the captain, in this case the spy, who's going to say one word, and that is in his head is connected to one or more words on the board. So he will say, I don't know, cat 5. That means that in his head he knows that is we in his team, we should be able to deduct what cards he's thinking that are related to cat on the board. Super easy, super simple, and it's a lot of fun. You can play literally with like infinite number of players because you just need a captain, and at that point you're just like trying to understand what your friends is trying to do, or come on, it's
I love those games where you're basically trying to do telepathy. You're trying to force your friends to know what you're thinking. Brilliant.
And a lot of times it's like what you were thinking, like oh no, it was so clear, but no, it's not. It's always fun. It's always a laugh, this game, and there is a reason why it's the number 1, because it always comes out. This game always comes out, and everybody's always to play. So absolutely.
Well, staying on the spy theme for my number 4 with, of course, Spyfall.
Yes.
Spyfall is another game kind of like Fake Artist in New York, where you've got one person that doesn't know the secret and everyone else does. And it's like that. It's so simple. You've got lots of little decks of cards in here, and they all represent a specific location. It could be on a cruise ship, it could be in outer space, it could be in a submarine, it could be on a desert island, it could be anywhere, it could be in a hotel. And you'll dish out those cards to everybody except one player, and all that they'll see on their card is the word spy. And their job is to try and guess where they are. And the gameplay is very simple. Each person takes a turn asking someone else a question. So say, for example, we've all got like a cruise ship on our card, except Matt, who's the spy. I might ask Matt, what's the weather like today? And you might not know, like, you might say,
hey, it's sunny.
And I'm like, okay, fair enough, okay. But I might, it could be, I could ask, well, what's your job here?
And that's normally like when the spy wants to try to blend in and be like, oh, I do cleaning. That's normally everywhere there's cleaning, isn't it?
Exactly.
So it's always like trying to understand who the spy is, making very like specific questions on if the things is the scenarios in space and someone asks what's the weather outside,
and it's really sunny, I love it.
Rainy, that's probably the spy.
Probably the spy. It is brilliant. You've got to really cut the balance between asking very specific questions, because then you're giving away too much information to the spy. Because if you ask people that aren't spies, they might tell you in great detail, and then the spy's like, okay, I can
they understand where they are.
But then not being too vague, because if you're too vague, people are going to think you're the spy.
Yeah.
And if you choose the wrong spy, then everyone loses. So absolutely fantastic game.
Yeah, it's a great like social deduction, and the fact that you need to ask question to all your other players is super social, and it makes it a lot of fun, because a lot of times there's going to be times of like point finger into no, it's him, no, it's not me. It's really fun.
Yeah, play with 8 people, which is a great player count, super easy family game, very light brush of social deduction. That's Spyfall, number 4.
Number 3 for me, we got Scrawl. We go back to, this is another drawing game.
Always fun.
It's got a slightly different twist. You basically, each person will have to, at the start of the game, draw on his card something based on a card received at the start. For example, I don't know, a jellyfish fighting against a jellyfish. You're gonna draw that card, and then you're gonna pass it to the next player. The next player will give a title to that card, and to him it could be like, oh, it's cuddling a ghost. And then you pass the other one, and the next player will have to draw what cuddling a ghost looks like, and so on until the end. It can go very, sometimes a little bit
weird.
R-rated, but yeah. And at the end of the game, you check all the cards. You score the points if what you draw at the beginning of your drawing is the same when it comes back.
It came all the way around again. Okay.
Yeah, but at the same time, you get scores for like the best drawing or the best interpretation. It's a very, very light game. Yeah, it's always fun. When this one comes out, normally you're already a couple of drinks in, and it's super fun. It's super fun.
This is Boxing Day Whiskey's game, I guess.
Oh yes,
yeah.
It's called, Terrible Drawings, Ridiculous Guesses.
Sounds right.
Yeah, and this is my number 3.
Yeah, but keep it away from Nan, especially after a few
Oh
drinks.
yeah, Nan done.
My number 3, and we're staying kind of in that social deduction territory with Bang the Dice Game. This is an absolutely fantastic game. It's been out for a while now, but I think it's still an absolute cracker. Just a great party game. I've played this with all sorts of folks. It's not super complicated. Everyone likes chucking dice.
Yep.
Everyone likes shooting their friends. So that's what you get to do. You get to chuck dice and shoot your friends, which is brilliant. You've got a sheriff, and at the start of the game, everyone knows who the sheriff is. But apart from that, everyone else's role is hidden. You're either a deputy on the sheriff's side, or you're an outlaw, and the outlaws need to work together, or you're the renegade. And the renegade just needs to be the last one alive. It's absolutely fantastic. Along with that, you've got Indians shooting arrows at you from over the hills, and if you get too many arrows, you take a bunch of damage. You've got individual powers that you can use. It's absolutely fantastic. Plays in like 15 minutes, plays 8 people, so it's a great party game. It's got slightly more depth than these two, but not so much that it's completely overwhelming. It's you can play it with almost anyone. Have played it with family members and everything. So this is a fantastic little game. Little bits of social deduction, but mostly just dice chucking, and that's Bang the Dice Game.
Yeehaw!
Yeehaw!
Number 2 for me, this is cushion guns. You basically, each player is a 4 to 8 player. Each one will play a different gangster or mafia man or whatever you want to call it. The rules are pretty simple, and the objective of the game is trying to get more loot than all the others. And it's any like gangster setup. You want to shoot the other gangster. You want to be the only one on the stream.
That's right.
And basically, there is this very nice mechanics where at the start of your turn, you kind of like you got your bullet card, and you can decide to like put a fake bullet inside your gun or a real bullet inside your gun. Of course, you just got a very limited amount of the real bullet, and using this very great Fomex guns, you decide in the phase after putting the bullets in, deciding who you gonna shoot. It's fantastic. So when you got eight people, everybody gonna start like pointing guns to everyone. It's gonna look like
It's gotta be one of the best components ever in board games.
This is just like it's great. I love this game just to have these ones. And so as if someone points the gun at you, you at that point can decide to just duck and not getting part of taking the loot that is going to be in the center of the table, or you say, you know what, I'm going to risk it. I think like that
you're bluffing.
You're bluffing to me, and staying up. At that point, if the bullet was real, you're taking a damage and you're not taking any loot. Otherwise, I was like, I was just joking. So
we'll take a loot.
And it's great because especially like at certain point there's gonna be like a line. It's like, oh, he's got too much loot. Should we all point it at him? And everybody goes like, yeah. No, it's great. It plays in 30 minutes. There's not much more than that, to be honest. That's gonna be the game. But the fact it got these great props and it just make it great games and great party games when everybody laugh about it every time.
That sounds amazing. I have not played it. Let's play this over Christmas.
Yeah, we'll do.
Let's do it.
We'll do.
Give me your loot. My number 2 is the best game on this list. And it is the best game. It's the best game on your list as well, actually. And as long shot, the dice game. And this is a relatively recent game. I think it was last year it came out. And I absolutely freaking fell in love with it. I took it with me on a work trip to Austin, showed some friends and colleagues out there, and they all absolutely fell in love with it as well. It is a horse racing game, but also a betting game at the same time, but also a little bit of dice chucking and roll and write. The only reason it's not my number 1 is because it's more complex than the rest of them. So there is that to factor in. But if you've got some people that are up for a little bit more of a game than just like, a little bit of light social deduction, also like more party stuff, this has much more to it, but still not super complex. It's brilliant. You've got 8 wooden horses on a track. You chuck some dice and that will determine which horses move, and you're going to be betting on the ones that you think are going to finish first. But also during the game, you're going to be unlocking different things that will move certain horses backwards or forwards more. And you're going to be messing with everyone else. And it will play 8 people pretty happily. I mean, and it is absolutely magic. I mean, it'll play at almost any player count equally well. But it's spectacular. It's in this wonderful box, not even that big. You could stuff it on a very big stocking maybe. But yeah, I would thoroughly recommend this game. If you like betting, you've got betting in there. If you like messing with your opponents, it's super interactive. And if you like racing games, it's got like a racing element as well. So there's a few things in there all together. And if you like roll and writes, it's a little bit of a roll and write too. So for a game that is this interesting and this frankly brilliant, it's even more than a party game. But you could easily bust it out at a party and have an absolutely cracking time. I've played many times this game where people are literally standing up shouting at their fake wooden horse to move. They're like, roll the dice! You go horse!
That's where you know that is a great party game.
Exactly. Like, literally people standing up and screaming at a wooden horse when it hasn't moved, or screaming at me because I moved their horse backwards when it was just about to finish. Brilliant game. Long shot the dice game. Could not recommend this more for any situation, but if you've got a party and people are up for it, bust this out.
Before number 1, got a couple of honourable mentions. They're both talking about betting and racing games. Yeah, one I have played a lot. The other one I really regret that I didn't get a copy back at Spiel. But yeah, the first game is Camel Up.
Great fun game.
It's a great fun. It's very similar to Long Shot, but you're betting on camels. And you're betting on camels if they're gonna arrive first, second, and there is a lot of like very fun components. The dice that you're rolling goes inside a pyramid. That's great. Yeah, it's slightly more complicated. I tried it with a lot of like different group of friends. Sometimes it goes like very smooth. Sometimes it got a couple of mechanics that people needs to get before actually enjoying the game. So that's why didn't make the cut for this list. And the second game is Ready, Set, Bet. That again is a horse racing betting game.
Came last year, super new.
When I saw it at Spiel, was like interested, but not that much. Then in the last few weeks, I saw like a lot of like reviews and playthrough of the game, and I was like, I should have really get that game as well. But yeah, I'll make sure that whenever it comes out,
get that. We'll play that, and we'll maybe get a video on that too. Couple of honourable mentions for me. Downforce, another racing game. Didn't make the cut, again, slightly more complex. Kind of like Camel Up in that way.
Okay.
Very similar, where you're betting on what car is going to finish first. A great game, but probably not appropriate for this list. Exactly the same problem with Deception, Murdering Hong Kong. Great game, lots of little social deduction elements, can play lots of players, but again, probably too much for something like this list where you want to try and cater for all tastes. I kind of stretched it a bit with Long Shot, but I've had success with people that haven't played games with that. But there's been times where I haven't had success with those other two games that I've mentioned. So there is that. But that's some honourable mentions for you. Let's dive into the number ones.
Time for number one, and this is a game that in my household, every time we got a party, it comes out.
Okay, this is
every single time. And it's a social deduction game, and it's probably one of the most famous one.
Yeah.
Or it should be.
I can see it.
And is Secret Hitler. It's a beauty. It plays 5 to 10 people. It's a pure social deduction game, very much like Avalon or that kind of where you're gonna have in a group of people. There's gonna be someone that is actually Hitler, and there's gonna be depending on the count of people, you're gonna have a couple of like fascists or Nazis, what I call it, whatever you want to call it. That during the game. The game then starts, and everybody will have to vote on certain law to go or to not go. And of course, the Hitler and the fascists would like to sometimes to stop democracy, to make it curse. And so they will try to stop the voting system. It's super easy to get. It's very, very thematic. The production of this game is one of the most delicious production I ever seen. It's great. It's a social deduction game, but probably to me it's the best social deduction game because it's not long or infuriating like Avalon. That to me, like I really
makes you angry, that one.
Yeah,
it can do. It can cause fights.
Yeah. No, especially when you got like friends that are like lawyers or stuff like that. They can talk you out of everything. I just no. That's why I much prefer Secret Hitler. It comes up every time. It's slightly more complicated, but not that much. It's just literally like you got those couple of rules that you can show them in the first 2 rounds of the game, and then that's it. Then you don't need to learn anything else. Fantastic game. Go pick it up.
I've liked this game for a long time. As a matter of fact, when this first came out, I mean, even before it was released, they released a print and play copy. So I printed a copy and cut all the bits out. We played it to death. I took my printed copy on holiday. And play with family and friends out on holiday, and had a great time there as well. The theme's not for everyone. It's deliberately edgy.
Yeah.
So there are alternatives to this game if you're not a fan of the super edgy theme. And I can get that.
Fair enough.
I can get that for everyone. But the game itself, it's a pretty freaking good social deduction game, to be fair. Yeah, it's a cracking number one, Matt. So my number one.
Let me see what you got.
I'm going for a Spyfall winner, so I literally can't go wrong in this. Yeah.
Flexing as
I'm
usual.
flexing, yeah, of course. Mate. I do a list, I do a flex. I'm flexing with just one, which I think is probably the best party game that you could actually ever play, ever, in any situation. I have taken this to pubs and had just as much fun with like buddies down the pub as I have on Christmas Day with Nan. And like friends and family and stuff like that. Just One is a spectacular party game. It does its job perfectly, and it's one of those great games where you think to yourself, why did no one think of this before? It has that classic game feel in a modern game. And when you get games like that, they're odds-on winners to win the Spyfall, and it's one of those. And the concept is very, very simple. One player is the guesser. They've got some words in front of them that they can't see. Everyone else has to try and get them to guess one of those words. It might be the word car, for example. So everyone else is going to write on their little tablet thingy a word to do with the word car.
Related to that word, okay.
But before they show the guesser, they show each other. And anyone that wrote the same word, they delete their words.
Okay.
Right? So, and then the guesser only gets what's left. So really, really interesting.
Really interesting. Yeah.
You have to be kind of vague, and you have to think outside the box with your word, because if I write it down and I'm writing it down in secret, and then if we show each other it's the same, both of those get deleted, they're gone. So really, really clever.
Yeah.
Brilliant, brilliant game. And there are tons and tons, and you can, there is like rules for the points and stuff, but you don't need to play with those. Just play until you get bored of it. That's basically it. Just pass the guesser around, and you'll just keep playing, and that'll knock a good couple of hours off while you're eating mince pies and leftover turkey for Christmas Day. It's a fantastic party game. And one of the best you can buy.
And it's from Rapers Production. They're the same from Cash and Guns. These guys know how to do a party game.
They know a party game when they see it, and that's my number one. Just one. But what do you think? Do you like our list of party games? Would you consider putting any of them out at a party? Or do these games immediately send people home annoyed and upset with you? Well, let's hope not, because these are all fantastic games. But let us know, what are your favourite party games? What games, and here's your challenge, they must be easy to teach, easy to play, not too long, and play lots of
with
players.
A lot of people.
With a lot of players. We'll say at least 6. Let's go with that.
Yeah, because otherwise it's not a party.
Yeah, otherwise it's not a party, exactly. Let us know in the comments below. And if you liked this video, please make sure to check out the rest of our content. Smash that like button, give us a thumbs up, give us a share, and make sure
to hit the subscribe
always
button.
Beat that subscribe like a red-headed Italian. Beat it real good. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you again real soon.